Okay, so I have not vlogged in a while, and we have mostly just spent the past like week or so getting ready for this snow and ice storm, but we got it last night and it wasn't near as bad as what they said it was going to be. We were expecting to be without power for a while and we never even lost power. Some other eventful things have been happening. Follow me on Instagram, then you already know. And yesterday morning we actually woke up and it was like 4 o'clock and the dogs were wanting out, so we let them out, and then it was like 6:50 and I randomly woke up, but Ben's alarms did not go off. He was supposed to get up at like 5:30 to go to work, but his alarms never went off. I just randomly woke up at 6:50 and he was already in a panic because he was late for work. But I smelled something, like it smelled like coffee, honestly. And I asked him, I said, "Do you smell coffee?" And he was like, "Yeah, I do." But so he just went downstairs and let the dogs in and stuff. And it was pouring the rain outside because we were supposed to be getting ice, but it was actually just rain. Pouring the rain outside, so the dogs come in and they're soaking wet. And so they start rubbing all over everything, trying to dry off. I'm upstairs and I immediately start to smell something burning. And like, it is awful. Like, I don't know how to describe it, but it was just so strong. And so we immediately think that the house is burning down. And we can't find what the smell is coming from, so we just go and turn off the main breaker to the house because it smells electrical. And so we thought we were having electrical trouble, so we go around in the dark unplugging everything from the outlets. So then we finally find some headlamps and stuff, so we call my dad because I didn't know if I needed to call the fire department or not. So my dad used to be a firefighter and he told me that if there's no fire, there's nothing that they can do. But my dad drove an hour and a half here and he like literally tore our house apart. Checked all the outlets, we checked all the breakers. None of the breakers had flipped. We checked everything, all the wiring, like we jerked up floorboards checking stuff, and could not find anything. Went up in the attic and in the cellar and stuff and nothing. We could not find anything. After my dad checked everything, my parents couldn't stay long because I'd drive back home before it started getting really bad. But we let the dogs back in after they left, and because while they were here we didn't want them in the way, so we just had them outside. And whenever we let them back in, it hit us like a ton of bricks. The smell of skunk on them was awful. So we were freaking out over nothing, and we thought our house was literally burning down, and made my dad drive an hour and a half here, but all it was a skunk. So, but we are dealing with that now, so we're trying to get the smell out of the dogs and out of everything, because they literally ran all over the house, rubbing on everything, trying to get the smell off and just trying to dry. So that's what we've been working on, and the smell is still awful. Like, we tried airing out the house and like raising the windows and stuff, but so far the smell is out of the house, but the dogs just smell awful. We're hoping with time it just wears off because we're actually about to start putting some beadboard up in the kitchen. This does still have paper and paint on it, but I figured that it would be easier to take off whenever it was already up. That way I could like scrape it or whatever and wouldn't have to like bend over or do it one board at a time. His dad is going to come over and help him get the first like run up, and then after that me and him can do it because we just don't know how to start it. Like, we've never like worked with beadboard before. And sorry about the glare, but we're going to start in this corner because this corner is where the pantry is going to be rebuilt. So we have to get the wall fixed, and then whenever we get the wall down, that's whenever we will lay the new flooring and stuff. But the floor, we haven't worked anymore on that because there's a guy that Ben works with and he has a planer, so, but it's like one of the really nice fancy one that rips it and like it's already preset. You just run it through and it does it all. I don't know, it's super fancy, but so we're just gonna wait and use that. That way we don't have to run it through one planer 50 million times, and we couldn't figure out how to work that DeWalt one. Hope we can get a lot done, and hopefully it's not too hard to hang. But I am so excited, so excited. this is all that we've gotten done, and I will say this is a very tedious job. These are the boards that we took out of that older farmhouse, so it makes it hard that some of them, the lips aren't exactly right, so we're having to like go through and like either cut them off or keep them or whatever. And I don't know, it's just very, very tedious. But what we decided to do is this wall right here where the pantry is going to be, we're just going to use this as our scrap wall. This wall right here, we're just going to go ahead and run it all the way up so that we have like good full length boards. And then we're going to use these, like, because this wall will be mostly hidden by the pantry. Like, you'll only be able to see like a foot right here, and that's it. So you won't even be able to tell. But Ben and his dad went out to the barn to go build some shelves to put the lumber on to get it up off the ground. And I'm in here trying to poke back all the plaster, because I don't know if you can see that. There's like plaster inside the cracks. And whenever we go, and up there along the roof. So whenever we hammer like this in to try and nail it in place and like lock it in, it's causing the plaster to fall because it's already loose and not set in, and then it falls behind here, falls back here, then it won't let the beadboard go all the way up against the wall. So this is the shelf that I was talking about that they're going to build to put the lumber on in the barn, and they're going to separate it out so that somebody can just walk in there and know exactly where the board is, so that we don't have to dig through the piles anymore, and just to get it up off the ground. so Ben worked on the beadboard a little bit this afternoon, but he had to quit because I don't know if you'll be able to tell or not, but it's not setting down in the groove. Like, he'll get a part of it in and then he can't get the next part in. So, and he ran out of nails. That one has a flaw, so we're trying to put all of the flaw boards or anything that just has any kind of imperfection behind where the pantry will go. This is the corner where the pantry will go. So we're trying to make sure that everything, that way it's on the inside of the pantry and nobody will ever see it besides me and just Ben. Sorry there's so many shadows. I need to turn that light off. I will have to go back through and take the old wallpaper off, but it shouldn't be a problem. Like, honestly, it peels off pretty easy, but I'll just take like either fabric softener or the heat gun and it should peel off. I'm gonna wait until they get it all hung. That way I don't have to do it like a single board at a time. I can work on a section on the wall. Then the other thing that is gonna hold us up is this window. We're still waiting on this window and we don't know when it'll be in, but we won't be able to work on any beadboard on this wall until we have that window in. I'm still not, sorry about that light, but I'm still not sure about the brick. Like, I don't know. I'm still trying to figure it out and figure out what the best option would be. But right now we're just trying to focus on getting these two walls hung first. So far this is probably about 2 or 3 hours worth of work and we've gotten just a little tiny bit done. It's just because we keep running into problem after problem and we can't seem to get a groove figured out with it. But hopefully we can get it figured out tomorrow whenever his dad comes. That's gonna be it for today's vlog. So thank you guys for watching and I hope you guys will like and subscribe.